this point, the Hogwarts Express has become Harry Potter's answer to Luke's Landspeeder, as this is the 6th version we've ever gotten, and the 3rd one in the last 5 years. It's getting a little bit much. And while I think this is far too soon to release another one, at least this one understood the assignment. This is set 76423, Hogwarts Express and Hogsmede Station. It has 1,074 pieces and will retail for $130 US, 190 Australian, and 115 Great British pounds. With the last playset version only just retiring and the collector's edition not even being on shelves for a year, there is no denying that this is a very odd time to release this set. It comes with 8 minifigures, Hogsmede Station, regular Lego train tracks, 2 carriages, and accurately captures moments from the beginning and end of the Philosopher's Stone. Kicking off the minifigures, we have Harry Potter, who has the standard open Gryffindor robes and short legs. He has a brand new face print, and this time around it actually has the tape that's holding his glasses together, which was featured at the beginning of the first movie, and I am so glad that this was included, as firstly, it just gives us something new in a character who has pretty much remained the same otherwise, and he also comes with a brand new galleon coin too, which has a little Lego dragon printed in the middle. Next up we have Ron, who shares the exact same torso and uses his typical standard face. I love the fact that he comes complete with his ham sandwich that his mum made him, which is such a great detail and reference. Hermione also has a new face print in this set, featuring a rather concerned or disgusting face, which to me at least is a kind of callback to Ron's Buttermellow spell. She also comes with a closed robe print this time and brings back the skirt and dual molded legs combo, which seems to now be a staple for the uniform, and I'm really glad to see it. Draco is nothing special, but at least he fits the lineup really nicely. Luckily though, this set gave us our first ever Lee Jordan minifigure. I'm kind of shocked that he popped up here first rather than in a Quidditch set, but either way, he's a very welcome addition. That being said, technically he should have come with mid-legs instead, since he was a 3rd year when Harry started school, but more so I think it was a major missed opportunity that he didn't get to use the brand new Dreadlocks hairpiece. The trolley, which also makes a return in this set in the same form as the collector's edition Hogwarts Express, however the conductor, which also returns from that set, has had a very slight change in his face print as well as skin tone. Lastly is Hagrid, who is the same amazing minifigure, but this time around he does come with a 2x2 printed tile of the photo album that he gives to Harry at the end of the movie, which is really cute and an absolutely amazing looking print. The 2 side builds in this set are really cute, starting off with this little lamp slash signpost combo. Both of these are just stickered tiles and it's really basic, but it's a pretty neat touch. And then secondly, of course, there is the Trolley Witch's cart, which is really well done and a little bit bigger than I guess I'd expect given the scale of the rest of the set. It comes with a variety of snacks, including a brand new and way overdue chocolate frog tile, which looks incredible, and luckily there is a spare included in the set. And the Bertie Bott's beans also make a return, however I really wish that the top was red rather than white. When it comes to the build as a whole though, everything that anyone has ever wanted, I feel like, or requested is present in this set. However, it did result in a lot of compromises, especially when it came to the size of the build. Starting off, you build the engine, and this portion of it specifically I ended up building on Twitch, and while I was streaming I noticed and kind of commented on the size of this, and it's really prominent the more you kind of get along with the build process. That being said, the proportions are still intact. However, the more I got along with this section, the more I realized how just kind of squished and scaled down this entire model of the train was going to be. All of the Hogwarts Express accents are still present though. You've got the Hogwarts Castle tiles on the side, you've got a couple of the stickers on the back of the locomotive, as well as the Hogwarts Express sign on the front, and just everything you'd kind of expect for the engine to have. However, the back portion of it especially is so small that the minifigure can't even fit in there. The conductor kind of just has to swing around on the back using these poles. He cannot get inside at all. There is barely any space in there, and it's really unfortunate, but I get why it had to be this way for the amount of stuff that they wanted to put into the set. The tender car also got shrunken down, but not as much as I expected. This is actually quite long for what I anticipated this to be like, but that being said, there's really not a lot going on with it. There is very minimal coal detailing, but I did find it really neat how there's a shovel on the back, and there's also still the little bars on each end. But other than that, this really serves no purpose or no function outside of just being accurate to an actual train. Most importantly though are the 2 passenger cars, and this is why we had all of those compromises in size, but these are really well done. They're very similar and have very minor differences between the two, with the first one really just having different numbers and windows all the way across the front, and the second one having a different set of stickers and a little bit different interior, but really that's about it. The roof can be taken off and the front wall can be completely knocked off too in order to access the inside, as well as the 4 chairs that are sat sat there, which allow you to just stick your minifigures down. There's also a tiny little bit of storage space in the middle, but you're really not going to be able to get a lot in there outside of maybe Trevor the Toad. And that is where my major complaint to this set lies. It's just the roof color. To me, it feels very jarring, and also I guess it's just kind of not what I'm used to. I mean, I've always seen Hogwarts Express sets have black roofs, especially with the collector's edition, so to depart from that is a pretty jarring change, and really I don't think looks that good. Now, according to the designer George Gilliard, he chose grey as it closer matched the lighter roof that was shown in the first two movies, as apparently it did get darker as the films progress. And while I can see where he's coming from, I really think that dark bluish grey would have been a better way to kind of get that idea across without it being such a sore thumb. Like, I just think it's far too light and doesn't really match the rest of the train, because after all, I guess it's supposed to represent kind of that like rusty, weathered metal. And since the roof color is very, very, very distant from the color of the black on the engine, I just really don't think that it matches and kind of feels like these are meant to be somewhere else and not a part of the Hogwarts Express. Moving along from that though, the second carriage on the inside only has 3 seats this time around. It is supposed to have an area where you can stick the trolley cart. However, it does not fit very well. You kind of just have to shove it in there and she kind of falls around. Like, I haven't gotten it to properly like stick down in any sort of way. It just kind of feels a little bit messy to me, I guess, unless you kind of put it a bit off center. I just think the cart is too small and able to fit this really, really neatly, but at least she can get in there with relative ease. Hogsmede Station makes an appearance in this set too, in a very, very different type of tone and style to the original one from 2004, and I really like the way that this turned out. The platform is quite long, which matches up really nicely with the length of the train. It doesn't quite feel so out of place or too comedically small in order for it to match the rest of it, which is a really good thing. And there are also these sections on the end that you can just pop off as they're connected with Technic pins, so I guess if you really wanted to as well, you could extend this platform and make it even longer. The exterior of the building is very simple but very cute, and I think all of the different red accents tie the entire thing together, from the Hogsmeade sign to the little red lamppost to even just the frames on the windows and the door. On the inside there is a little bit of space, but really not that much, and it's kind of divided into 3 separate rooms. The first being a bathroom complete with this very shiny looking toilet water in the bottom, and on the inside there is just kind of a little bit of an office with a couple of really nice sticker details. The first being a map of the UK, and then the second one kind of having this little shelf complete with Neville's Remember All. Lastly, there's a tiny section for Owl Post, which really is just represented by this sticker, as well as a snowy white owl looking out of the window, although I guess you could also just call this Hedwig rather than just a regular owl. There is not a lot of room for play on the inside, but I really appreciate the fact that they left a lot of room on the front of the station so you can actually put the minifigures before they hop onto the Hogwarts Express. Lastly, there is a train track, which I've kind of got mixed feelings on because I think it's a really neat inclusion and complements the set pretty nicely, but at the same time, since it's only just like a really big strip of train track, it really makes me feel like it just bumped up the price too much, kind of unnecessarily. Train tracks are very large elements and you can just buy them separately. I really feel like just having the train be able to fit on train tracks was more important than including actual train tracks, especially since you kind of got these 2 little ramps on either end and only 4 pieces of actual track. Overall, this set feels like it was made for train fans first and Harry Potter fans second. There are definitely a lot of deep cuts and really cool references to the movies, as well as just the Lego Harry Potter theme in general, but I feel like for a more casual fan, this set has everything you could want, and I think it's a really good set for that reason. In an ideal world, I would have loved to have the instructions incorporate a section on how to motorize this using some of the powered up system, but I'm really glad that it wasn't included because I think the train tracks bumped up this price enough, and I just think that would have made it a little bit much. But having a tutorial on how to do it, I think would have been really good, similarly to how the Winter Village set did that recently with the kind of like cable car build that they had. That being said though, I can't imagine that it would be too complicated to figure out, although I don't think I would be able to do it myself. Besides the roof coloring being a little bit of a sore thumb, the real downside to this though is the train track and just how much I think this bumped the price up. The track itself isn't a problem, but the price point for this set does feel a little bit too much. I don't think it necessarily makes the set feel overpriced, but it definitely doesn't make it as easy just to pick up off the shelf on a whim like you probably would have been able to do with some of the other models of the Hogwarts Express. If you haven't bought a Hogwarts Express in quite a few years, I definitely think this is an excellent pickup, or if you haven't got one at all, I would absolutely recommend this set. But let me know what you think about this set in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider consider subscribing to my channel down below for more LEGO content and LEGO Harry Potter reviews. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.